Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel for the match preview for Aston Villa versus Bournemouth in the Premier League. I'm joined by my bro to go through everything building up to this big game in the Premier League on Saturday. How you doing, bro? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. It's mad because we went to the Fulham game, Bologna, and then we got Bournemouth this week. It feels like we've done a full week, bro. Like it feels good to do that because you don't experience it that much. So yeah, looking forward to another Villa game.
Games coming thick and fast. This is it. This is the part of the season, where Europe, Premier League, you're battling with your squad. We're in a fortunate position where everyone seems to be fit and available now, except for Philogene will be suspended. But yeah, we're in a great position, bro. And firstly, I want to start this off by how great it is watching Man United on a Thursday night. For many years, having to watch them in the Champions League, and now us being in the Champions League and them struggling, even though they won a lot, but struggling against Fenerbahce.
We won a lot.
Yeah, is what you want to see, man. It's what you want to see. So yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way because I thought it's funny how things work in football.
Do you know what I want to say now? We're on about United. I hate how Sir Alex Ferguson, this waste man that ruined our childhood, yeah, he's getting credit for like our ascension to the top. What's that about? Like, I'm not trying to say I know
Off
more
one
about
quote,
football, but bro, we was not good in that Newcastle game, like, and that's okay, bro. Like, we got bullied for most
yeah,
of the game. Like, I think he saw something in that Newcastle game, but I thought we were bad personally, and I also think that we've just gone on to be sick. Like, I think it's a coincidence, but I'm seeing man get credit for Ferguson always knows and that kind of thing. I was like, all right, man.
yeah. Let him have it, man. Let him have it in his
Nah, man, he's had
in his
enough. He's had enough. Let me have my
older years.
peace. Let me have my let me have my happiness, like outside of him getting credit for it. Man.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
come out. We've seen the
Oh
light.
no,
We've come out the dark
we
end.
need to beat him at Old Trafford. That's what it is. I think we haven't beat him
Facts.
enough.
Facts. I agree. Anyway, bro, let's move on to the game. Bournemouth. I think potentially the successor to Unai, whenever that date may be. Let's hope it's 15 years down the line. But whenever the time comes when Unai might leave, I think Iraola might be the guy who succeeds him. I've been looking at Bournemouth playing some wonderful football this season. Statistically, they're right up there. They deserve to be where they are in the table, if not higher. Played some really good stuff, and I think we have this discussion about around Thomas Frank and Iraola, don't we, bro? And if Unai ever was to leave or to go, where we'd perceive the next manager to come from, I think you like Frank and what he's done at Brentford, which I agree is an unbelievable job. And if it was Iraola, for me, I think he'd do an amazing job as well. So yeah, bro, facing Iraola, fantastic tactician. Bournemouth are just on the up and keep flying and moving up the table this season.
Yeah, you could argue Raiola plays the most similar to Emery with how he sets up, how they play, how they press, how they both like vacate the midfield as well in a sense, like how they do sometimes. They don't mind leaving the gaps and playing that pass through from defense to the striker. And yeah, but they got some really cool players like me and you both like Semenyo. I think I'm saying that right or wrong. We both like him as a player. He's always a threat. They have other players as well that we like. Kirkes, I think he's a baller. Their defender. And Hoysham, bro, who we tried to sign in summer. He hasn't really played much for them, but he was a good young talent that they signed. And yeah, I think their recruitment's sick. Like
I was
I
just
think
going to
they
say, bro, I think their recruitment's in the model of our recent recruitment as well, in terms of they're signing young prospects with huge potential, and they're trying to build around that. As you said, Kirkes, Zabrini, Hoydson, Semenyo, even if you think of Cliver, Justin Cliver, yeah, the players that they're looking for and they're bringing in are of that mold where Alex Scott as well, another one in the brought a few seasons ago. They're of that mold where they're young, but they can build and mold them, and Iraola can do that and progress them further forward in their careers and make them better players. And that's in a similar line to us as recent business we've done. John Duran, Morgan Rogers. We've got the two guys on there, Baron Achea, Ealing Junior. Um, bringing Philogene back as well. It's a similar moulding that St. Ian Matson as well, even though he's been there, he's still of a young age and profile who can mould even Andrea Nana to an extent. So yeah, I think their club model and the club shape and what they're trying to do at Bournemouth is really good and kind of akin to what Villa are doing, just on a higher level at the moment.
Yeah, facts. And I really like a player you mentioned, Alex Scott. I thought he was a really good player at Bristol City, but injuries, man. Injuries. I've seen like he's had a meniscus repair and he's going to be out for like a while again. So he's going to miss the game at the weekend as well. So yeah, got it for him. He's always injured. But yeah, man, Bournemouth, they're coming off a big win against Arsenal. They'll be flying. I do think, no, they are a lot stronger at home than away. Like, you do hear that as a narrative in like the media with Bournemouth, but I do think it's true. Like, I remember one time last season, they won like 3 games in a row at home. And it always feels, when you see Bournemouth, like going to Bournemouth feels like a way different fixture to having them at Villa Park. I don't know if you agree with that as well or feel that way.
Yeah, I find when we go to the Vitality, it's a really tough game.
Always.
Really tough, and they really stick it on us. We've had very good results of recent times at Villa Park. But yeah, they're still a good side. Obviously, they lost Solanke in the summer. That was a big loss in some ways, but it's not a bad replacement. They signed a guy who was terroring Arsenal in the Champions League at Porto in Evan Nilsson. So it's a decent replacement. That's a big money signing who they'll be looking to get the goals for him. And he's had an indifferent start. He's had some decent performances, got a few goals, but he'll be looking to kick on from that side. And yeah, bro, I just think that Bournemouth have moved on from the 10-year Gary O'Neill. They've moved on. I think Iraolas a much better manager than he is. And they're just going from strength to strength. And we're facing them, as you say, bro, in the time where they'll be full of confidence after the victory and performance against Arsenal last week.
Yeah, like a lot of people were just like, why did they get rid of O'Neill and get Iraola? But if you look at the underline for Gary O'Neill's season, like they were just being proactive because underline had them as like a relegation team based on like those type of statistics that owners will look at. So they were just being proactive and they wanted to get in another manager. And Gary O'Neill's got Wolves rock bottom right now on Bournemouth. Bournemouth looking pretty safe. They're not really relegation candidates. Like they win too much. So yeah, I'm gonna get through some comments, bro.
Yeah.
Credo says, "Evening, boys. Good to see you. What a time to support Villa. What a time to support Villa, man. A lane in the Champions League. I'm not over it." Gordon says, "What we saying? But yeah, good to see you. Always coming into the chat, showing love, bro." Flange says, "Can't entertain the day Unai leaves us." Yeah.
I hear it.
In the podcast like that.
I hear it. That's me, bro. Future planning, man.
Rachel says, "Do you think Emery will have a say on who will replace him?"
I think so. Well, we've heard the comments on, and Nas and that they want Unai in the mould of Sir Alex Ferguson, and if that were to be the case, and Unai does say for such a period of time, which I think is possible, then yeah, I think Unai, like Ferguson did with Moyes, would have a say in the next manager.
Yeah, that ain't the best example for that there, bro. Credo says, "Behave, Flange. Unai is never leaving." Yeah. Hopefully he's here for a while, man, because the progress is going up. Like it doesn't seem like there's any type of regression or whatever. Like it feels like he's getting better and better results wise. Flange says, "Yes, Credo," and Kevin says, "Emery's not wasting time." His words. He's here to win a trophy. That's the one for me, innit? A trophy, bro. Yeah. That's the one for me where it's just like, okay, this guy's genuinely like getting Champions League. Did that as well. But like, if you won like a League Cup as well, an FA Cup, something we've been craving for so long as fans, then man, the statue talk gets serious. I think if he brings
the statue, definitely, it's close to it anyway. Because as I say, I never thought I'd see us play Champions League football. To be in the position we're currently in the Champions League as well, and still being competitive in the league, bro, he's close anyway. But and if the trophy does come, then yeah, for sure, I think it happens. Anyway, moving on to one player who's Bournemouth fans will be synonymous with. Our star at the moment, Starboy, the man of the moment, Morgan Rogers. The Bournemouth had him on loan.
You took the title from Ramsey, yeah. This is like, give me that title.
I said at the moment. You can have more than one Starboy, man. Doesn't have to be exclusive to one person. So yeah, Morgan Rogers. Bournemouth fans will be familiar with him. I don't think they'll be familiar with this current form of Morgan Rogers because the talk of Bournemouth fans is they can't believe the player he's become. When he was on loan there, I think it was under Scott Parker at the time, he didn't get many opportunities. He didn't quite show and express the talent that he had. And I think it's just a thing of timing, isn't it? It happens in the development of all young players. Sometimes the time is just not right. He didn't have a successful loan spell at Bournemouth, and I think he returned to City at that point. Mad the transformation he's had now as a player and how integral he is. Well, the stats I was seeing from the Champions League, I think it was the second most dribbles behind Vinicius Junior so far in the tournament, and the second most successful dribbles behind Rafael Leao. He's in the company of the best in the Europe, and he's right up there and deservingly so. His performances in Champions League have shown that. The goals and assists have started coming in the league as well. The performances were always there. Bro, he's absolutely flying now, and the transformation we've seen in Morgan Rogers just from when we first signed him, and I think it was that game against Luton, which I think was his first appearance. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a really calculated gamble with the Rodgers signing because you just look at his profile, 6'2", I think he is, and the way he moves and the pace he moves at, 10 million. It's almost like a no-brainer type of thing. And I don't even think this is saying it with hindsight bias, bro, because I remember seeing that goal against Chelsea away in the League Cup for Middlesbrough, where he just ran, took it himself, and curled it bottom corner. He did kind of show little parts of his game, and I think the big question was, can it translate into the Premier League? And we know Emery is a good coach. He's an elite coach. He's gonna help him get into better spaces, put him into better positions to receive the ball. These are the little things as well. People have to think about. It's not just Rodgers developing as a player. It's Emery's giving him the correct conditions to thrive as well within the system.
Absolute facts.
And he might not have been showing that at Middlesbrough. There might have been times where he's having to do things that don't really help his game. So yeah, it's been a joy to watch, bro. And it's almost scary how good Rodgers can become. How old is he? 22, I think.
Yeah, he is.
And obviously, progress isn't always linear, but you would expect Rodgers to take it to another level as well. The more confidence he gets, the more experience he gets. So, bro, it's exciting for us, man. The amount of talent we've got in the squad is quite scary. I can't lie.
And for sure, and it's an example, bro, of a young player at the right time in the right conditions, what they can become. And we have a number of those players still currently. Obviously, we have 2 out on loan. We could include Dobbin, that's 3. We have Philogene coming back. We have Lamar Bogard. We have Costa Nedeljkovic. Sometimes it's just going to take time and the right conditions for them to develop into the players we know their potential can get them to. And Unai is a manager who will give them the right conditions to do that. So potentially when they are starting, it's encouragement. If they're not starting, there's still belief that they can become that player. It's not the right time or the right conditions for that. And I think Morgan Rogers is a glowing example of that.
Yeah, facts, bro. 100% agree. So yeah, long may it continue with his form.
Yeah, no doubt he'll continue with it. So yeah, bro, going into the game, I think Bournemouth, they'll set up in a similar shape to us. I think they'll sit in that 4-4-2 in defensive shape, and then they kind of operate. Sometimes it can be a 4-2-3-1, but they can also play that box system as well. The back 4, I think they'll go with Kirk as left back. Zabani and I think Sensei will play centre backs. And then Adam Smith. They've had a few problems at right back. They're not really settled yet on a right back, starting right back. Yeah. I think Max Aarons and there's the other player as well. Is it right? Araujo as well. Yeah, so they're not quite settled on a right back as of yet. So it'd be interesting to see who they start there. I think it will be Christie and Cook in the middle, who've having great seasons. Lewis Cook's always been a very good player. He's just injuries. He had a massive injury. I remember, I think it was not last season, the season before, which really put him out. But he was highly rated just before that point, and he's having a good season so far. Ryan Christie was massively rated at Celtic, I remember all those years ago. And, Scotland kind of saw him as the beacon and the shining light coming through as youngsters. Made the move to Bournemouth, which was a big thing for him, moving from Celtic to Bournemouth at the time. And yeah, he started to shine as well. He's a really good really good centre midfielder, and then I think in front of that they'll play the three of Semenyo on the right. I think Kluivert will be getting the start for them in the middle, and then Tavernier off the left with Evan Nilsson up front.
Yeah, and they've got options in the attack, man. They've got pace. That's what scares me about Bournemouth's attack. I'd say the pace, the fluidity as well of like how they move the ball, and yeah, our defense is gonna have to be on it, bro.
Yeah, they can bring Archer on. They can bring Sinistera on. They've got some good players on that bench as well.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
Sinistera, when he's on it, he's a very good player.
Ryan Christie as well, underrated little baller as well. Ryan Christie, man. So yeah, bro. What about Villa though? How do you see the Villa boys lining up?
I think we'll make a number of changes again, bro, from midweek. I think midweek gave us the opportunity to rotate, and it's fantastic that we did. We got to see a number of players starting who hadn't started in a while, and I think we potentially will go back to something similar to what we had against Fulham. The one position potentially is what we saw Ezri Konsa play 90 minutes now at right back. I think Matty Cash will come back in. Now, does Diego Carlos have some minutes out? He's played a lot of football recently. We always know with Diego Carlos, he can break down at any moment, and potentially this could be the opportunity to give him a rest. We play, Pau and Konsa as centre-backs and then bring back Cash. Does Luca Dean come back into Maatsen? I think he does. And then I think the midfield, we could be McGinn's fit and available and ready. JJ's, he played against Fulham, bench midweek, and it'd be interesting to see if he starts to, because there's so many options now, bro. Like, there's so many things we can do. It's a fantastic position to be in, and this is where the headaches really start for Unai now, because he has so many options, and he'll know what he wants to do and how to navigate these games and what players he thinks will be suitable, which we now have the opportunity to use. I think Bailey starts again potentially. Actually, I don't know.
His profiles. I think with Bailey, even if like the consensus right now that he's not good, I don't think it's about him. It's more so like the profile that he is. He's a 1v1 winger, and we're fillaging out the squad. I think Emery just likes someone that holds width on the right, and that's gonna just stay on the touchline and allow us to create and give us options for the right hand side. So I just think Bailey just starts, bro. I think
I remember the start of the season though. Did we not start with McGinn on the right, JJ on the left?
Yeah, because Bailey was injured.
I know, but do you think there's an opportunity that can happen again?
I think there's always an opportunity for players to play, but I just think personally, Emery likes that profile. He wants a 1v1 winger at all times for most of the time if they're available. And Bailey started against Leicester. He started against West Ham. He just went down injured against Leicester, and it was almost forced us into taking him off and playing different. So I think.
Yeah, what do you think Emery will go with then? What's your?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, man, because I think the Konsa aspect's interesting. They have Semenyo and Kirkes who loves to bomb forward. Does he want Konsa that side? Be as a defensive right back, and then give Carlos the minutes for his passing. I thought his passing was excellent against Bologna. I think that's a toss up as well. I personally would like to see Maatsen start again. I thought he was really good. He had one defensive blip, but overall I don't think it was that bad. But I do think Emery will up with Luca Dean. And the McGinn one's interesting because it's between Ramsey, who hasn't. Although I watched the game back, I don't think his cameo against Bologna was that bad, but obviously the missed chance sticks out. And McGinn did play well, so I think it's between Ramsey and McGinn. I'm not sure on. And I think Bailey definitely starts with Onana and Tielemans. And bro, with the striker, I think it's still close as well with that man. I think I kind of was thinking about why Duran was so upset in the midweek. And you know the Fulham game when he was meant to come on probably at the 60th and Watkins scored and he stayed on a bit extra? I think Duran must have thought because he scored, he'll get that extra minutes as well that was afforded to Watkins. So I think that's why he was so upset. But the way he ran Bologna ragged, bro, on his own, I think I would not be upset. I really think Duran kind of might have earned the start. I don't think Watkins was great against Bologna when he come on. I don't know, man. I don't know that. Watkins creates so much, and unless you play Rodgers left mid and both of them start, I think it's a toss-up. I don't think it's.
Why not?
Well, we saw it
Could
against.
that be potentially?
Who did we play it against? I guess 30 minutes against United. We saw it. Wasn't probably the greatest, but I think we're at that point now where whether Watkins or Duran starts, they're both elite strikers and they're both probably gonna score. Like I really don't think
100% agree.
it makes too much of a difference, especially with Duran being more unselfish in his play.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Watkins comes straight back in, and then Duran comes on. I think it's interesting because of last season, I remember Moussa Diaby it was one of his really better games for us last season, and he was getting into those spaces. And Morgan Rogers was lethal off the left side. Morgan Rogers was really finding his feet at this point, and the combinations between Watkins, Diaby, and Rogers absolutely killed Bournemouth after we went 1-0 down. So similar patterns again, potentially if JJ does play off that left side and then Rogers in the hole behind either Watkins or Duran. I could see that happening, and I don't know. I've got a feeling Bailey don't start. I've got a feeling because of that left side, potentially McGinn starts on the right and JJ starts on the left.
Yeah, I think who will Bailey be going up against? Kirkes, who likes to bomb forward. Would there be spacing behind? Would there? That's why I was thinking if Bailey is on the right, maybe Konza plays right back as well, just for that defensive surety. But then you think Cash doesn't play at all in midweek, and it's probably
Cash starts. Start.
Options, bro. This is what we love to see.
This is it. Yeah. This is what
Emery will probably.
We ain't even talked about Ross Barkley. Okay, is Ross Barkley deserving of a start?
Emery
Kamara's back now.
Whoa, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. Like Emery probably shock us all and start like Kamara or something mad, like just out of the blue, just start Kamara and Tillemans or something. You never know. So yeah, it's good. Let me just get into a comment. Kevin says, "Amazing how Emery sees things. Like subbing off Anana at halftime, Barkley comes on and the quality gets better. Yeah, control. I think is what he wanted." What do you think about that? That's what we spoke about before, and it's just Barkley. If Bologna aren't attacking us through the middle, like you have Barkley who brings more control, better passing, in my opinion. The quality improves. We get to sustain pressure in their half more.
Yeah, totally agree, bro. Yeah.
Kevin also says Matson to start, bring Digne back for Palace. Options, man. It's beautiful.
It is, and we're so fortunate to have this squad now, and credit to the team for getting this squad and everyone fit and available now. You look at it and it's like, you know what? Let's just see what Unai picks because it's hard to tell what's going to be. You can have your preferences and everything like that, but at the end of the day, there's so many options. It could be one of 10 different sides.
I'd say who would you say are guaranteed stars now? Because Martinez, Pau, Pau Torres, Tillemans, and Rogers. Is that it?
Yeah, I think those are the three.
That'd be four, bro.
In terms of. So I reckon it's Yuri, Pau, Martinez,
Rogers. Like Rogers hasn't been.
Rogers playing 90s all the time now. Yeah, it's a 4. But is that in any game? Is that in any game?
I think he has his guys he trusts, definitely. Like he rotates, but he's not putting Gauchi against Bologna. Like he doesn't rotate that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not playing Barkley and Nana in the Champions League yet. He still has his guys that he really trusts.
Yeah, definitely.
Score prediction?
We don't do them round here.
I'm gonna say 3-1, bro. 3-1, I think. Same as last year, I think.
Same again.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I think we covered everything for the game. Also, I just wanted to say, if you could just like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We really want to try and get the likes up on the show and bring you more better content as well. And yeah, just share it with anyone that you can. Is there anything else you want to say, bro?
Nah, big up everyone. 2 years of Unai. Long may it continue. And yeah, man, we move on to Saturday.
Quickly, favourite moment so far under Unai's reign?
Big one, yeah. I was going to say this. Favorite moment? Oh God, there's so many. There's so many. In terms of the two are the City and Bayern. In terms of the moment where my heart was racing, my head was in the clouds. It's difficult, man, because I think Bayern's the best. No, City's the best ever game I've seen as a Villa fan. But Bayern's the best moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Facts.
So yeah, I'd have to say Bayern. But in terms of if we're going to say best match, it's City, but without a doubt.
And I think honourable mention for me is the very first game against United, to see us
United,
building
yeah,
from the
bro.
back
Facts.
and to beat the Hoodoo and to finally beat them like at Villa Park. Like just from the jump, bro, that's how you knew he was going to be successful here. Just from the jump, like beating the curse off his first game, like that was amazing to see us like play from the back.
Yeah,
and he was getting booed at first, man. He was getting people were tense, and it was expected. But over time, the trust is there, bro. No one says anything to him. Martinez gets the ball back now. Everyone's cool.
He educated Villa fans. That's what he did.
We've all been educated.
Gave him a schooling and a lesson and said, "This is how we play now. This is the education." And I think all but 99% of them have been educated.
Kevin says, "I've no problem whoever Emery picks now. I trust his decisions, which is a lesson for most of us. He's amazing." Yeah, I feel like other Villa managers, there were times where he's just like, I actually do think I know better than Gerrard. Like, what is he doing? Like, but with Emery, most times,
do you reckon you knew better than Gerrard?
Huh? With some of the decisions, bro, like some of his signings as well. Like, come on, like what?
Oh God, we still
one moment.
Don't forget,
one moment.
Phil Coutinho's still on the books.
Phil Coutinho, the man,
still on the books.
Like you gotta think, Gerrard was benching Louise Watkins at times.
That 11 river is like Mings, McGinn, Watkins.
Like, bro, these guys were fully fit. And
Douglas Louise are all on the bench. Yeah, I remember that.
Bro, what's going on? Like, come on.
I remember that. Just think, bro, that it was just over 2 years since we creasing it. Tyrone Mings scoring that own goal and like just laughing because you couldn't be sad about it. You couldn't be unhappy because it just got to that
celebrating.
Point. But it was so bad. Yeah, literally.
I was celebrating their goals, bro. To that point. I was happy. I was elated.
That you wanted him out so bad. Just convert it and just confirm it now and just start again.
And you know what's the sad thing about it? In terms of dopamine, we just went all through them moments. The moment that notification came back on my phone that he'd been sacked, like the dopamine, the happiness, I think that was still the peak. Just knowing that we were free. Like, I don't think you can get better than that. Like,
but it's magic because it was like, because we lost the game, I was at our stage where I was just like, you can't even react. It was just that bad, isn't it? So I wouldn't say it was the lowest of the lows. I think games before that with Gerrard were lower because that was just showing, the downward trend. Whereas this one, it got so low at this point. It was like, okay, my emotions are nothing, man, because I just want him gone now. So then it was just from a leveler to that. It was just like, just off the roof. Now he's gone. Like, it was mad.
Yeah, and I hear people say you should never want your team to lose, but man, I'm sorry, but I disagree with it, man.
Yeah,
I think it actually shows you're a better fan, where you think long term and you think like, oh my god, if this happened, like imagine we drew that game and it just went on like delayed, like Emery coming to the club, like look what happens, man. Like look at the happiness we've experienced since. Like, I'm sorry, I love Villa, but I love Villa so much that's what I was glad that
Ten Hag would have bopped us 4-0. You know what I mean? It is mad.
Shout out Aaron Danks giving us a vibe he couldn't maintain.
Yeah, that was a good vibe. That was a good vibe.
But like next game, we brought straight back to earth.
Sausage him. Do you see Emery giving it to him the other week?
Yeah. But it's just mad. Thank you, Emery, man. Changed my experience.
Changed it all. Changed my life. Changed my life, man.
Last comment I'll just get into, bro. David says, supporting Villa has never been so buzzing. Give thanks, Unai. Facts, bro. 100%. So yeah, bro. Next video, match reaction on the Saturday, probably, to hopefully an Aston Villa win. And yeah, see you guys on the next pod, man. Up the Villa.
Yeah, up the Villa.